and welcome to episode 62.
62.
There we go. 62 of the Unusual Suspects podcast. My name is Rob Gargiulo. Before you tune out, Vinnie is here. He will be joining us in just a second. But before he does, let's go around the room and introduce some of our unusual suspects. To my left, I have Humberto. He is the head of distribution here at Valuetainment Media. To his left, we have Brandon Acito. He is the head researcher here at Valuetainment Media.
Hello.
Across from Brandon, you usually hear her behind the scenes, but today she is on screen for you. The very lovely Kelley and Arnold.
Hi.
And to her left, the only writer at VT.com now, Connor. One half of Shauner, now just Connor. So, R.I.P. Shane. But thank you so much for all you did here while you worked here. So, very special podcast today. The reason we are live on a Monday, obviously, is because of what took place in Pennsylvania on Saturday. But before we get into the events, let's bring on our esteemed colleague, our angry patriot himself. Where is he? There he is, Vincent Oshana. That's still chubby me. So you got hangry patriot, and there is your angry patriot. Look at, oh man, you're so sexy. Hi, Vinnie.
Hi, guys. Well, guys, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I should be coming back soon, so we can do this in-house, and I could, see you guys and hug you guys and feel your warmth. But Bob, you mentioned Angry Patriot. We made this shirt a couple months ago, and I don't know if for some of you guys that know, I'm in New York right now, one of the most liberal, Democrat, leftist places in the entire country. I've been rocking this shirt, okay, the Angry Patriot shirt. I cannot tell you guys, mind you, these people are like closeted, like conservatives. I can't tell you how many people are going up to me and going, yo, this is before the assassination attempt. Like, yo, me too. I'm one as well. And this is New York, guys, okay? And I think right now, especially after the attempt on Donald Trump's life, I think it's time for patriots. And I know a lot of you are like me, angry patriots, to find each other and unite and let everybody know that we are fed up and we are done with the nonsense, right? And this is the way you can do it, guys. I want you guys to get this shirt and rock it loud and proud. Rock it at work, at the airport, at the gym. I don't care, but you guys will be amazed at how many people think and are exactly like what we are, okay? And they're just pissed off and fed up with what's happening in the country. So this is, I think, a way of like a beacon to let people know that you are just like them, all right? I think, Humberto, if you can, or Kelley,
I'm dropping the link on the description and the chat right now. Chat, do your thing. Get your Angry Patriot shirt. Right now, we're all angry.
Yeah, put the link in. It'll go to VTmerch.com. Guys, you're going to be shocked at how many people are just, you're gonna be everywhere. You're gonna be at Kmart, Walmart, shopping at the mall. People are gonna be like, yo, me too. And I think it's time for right now to let people know who you are and where you are. And you can get this shirt, sick, got the flag, and it has the future looks bright on the back. So yeah, that's it.
That's fantastic, man. VTmerch.com. Again, Humberto will put the link in the chat.
It's right there.
So make sure you grab your shirt while you can today. I wore one earlier, but Vinnie, apparently I gave Kelley my size last night. I gave her a large at like 8:30 at night. And between 8:30 last night and today, somehow I have vastly expanded to the point where a large no longer fits. And we didn't have an extra large. So rather than tie two large shirts together, I just wore my regular shirt. But I'm with you, buddy. You're the angry patriot, and I am the hangry patriot. Together, we're going to do this. We're going to save America. So get your shirt, VTmerch.com. Let's get into it. Where were you guys? Vinnie, I want to go to you first. Where were you when you found out the news that President Trump had been shot? And at this point, we can confirm that, correct? I saw reports yesterday. It was shards of glass. I even saw these news reports in which they stated that he fell during an event. If we could pull these up, Jake, these are the news reports from Saturday, where it's, here we go, CNN, Trump, or what is this? The Washington Post. Trump escorted away after loud noises at Pennsylvania rally.
Not
Let's
loud
go to the
noises.
next one. Yeah, no, loud noises. This is my favorite. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. This according to CNN.
Felt completely unprompted. Nothing caused that.
USA Today. Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startled former president crowd. Yes, I would say getting shot in the head for the poor firefighter, that's going to startle the audience. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. This according to NBC News.
Popping noises is what it is now.
And is there one more, or is that the final one? That's the final one. Oh, gunman dies in attack. That's the Sunday Denver Post. But I would like to know where everyone was. Vinnie, you first. Where were you when Trump was shot? 6:11 p.m. He is in Pennsylvania on stage at a rally. The shots break out. Where are you? How did you find out the information? What are your initial thoughts?
Rob, you guys actually won't believe this. So me, Pat, there were 16 of us. We went to go watch a movie in New York called Fly Me to the Moon. Woody Harrelson, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson. Oh my gosh, she freaking killed it. And who's the guy that kind of looks like he has Down syndrome? The lead. Who's the guy?
I don't want to start guessing who looks like they have Down syndrome.
21 Jump Street. Huh?
Is it the Star Wars, Channing Tatum?
Ray Romano?
Channing Tatum looks like he's on the spectrum. But anyway, that being said,
wow.
I never saw that.
This movie, guys, horrible movie. Great acting from Woody Harrelson and Scarlett Johansson. But it's a movie where they're trying to get to the moon, but then Woody Harrelson, who's the CIA, is in there, and he's like, we're going to fake it. They built the studio to shoot the moon landing. So, guys, it's so random. Guys, and it's basically trying to say, hey, it's trying to quell rumors that we didn't. So to me, it's a propaganda video movie. That's why it sucks. It costed over $100 million to make and only made like less than 10 million. Yeah. So that being said, we leave and I'm talking with Pat's son, Tico, and he goes, Uncle Vinny, you really think we landed on the moon? I go, I don't think the initial time, no. And he goes, really? Why would the government lie? And I go, they've lied. No, dude. And I go, because we landed on the moon in 69, they're saying? In 63, they shot and killed JFK. And I go, the government lied. They've been lying this whole time. I was talking about the JFK assassination. Guys, my hand to God, we get in the car, and this is my time because I want to be away from my phone. I check my phone, and I see the boom, and I see him grab his ear, and I go, Pat, they just shot Trump. And, dude, everybody was like, what? My body started getting red. My ears started getting, mind you, I was in the sun. We were at the beach. I started getting, and then I was like, dude, it was that moment, Rob, where you nailed it. Like 9/11, that moment where you're like, oh my God, is this really happening right now? And then the news, and then the videos, and then I saw those news bites of fireworks and fire. And I go, guys, they shot at him. They're trying to kill him. And I was like, the first thing I said was, we told you so. I go, we freaking knew it was coming. And yeah, man, it just, and then here we are right now. I'm still here. I'm still in New York.
I was in my backyard. I'm doing drainage work and I'm putting in French drains in my backyard. And we had a heat warning on Saturday. The Weather Channels will say it's 110 degrees outside. Don't be outside. And I'm out back digging ditches. And I'm like, I am not in the best shape. So I'm like on the edge of having cardiac arrest. And I have a hammock. So I was like, I'm going to lay down in the hammock. I'm going to rest. I am covered in dirt from head to toe. Mm-hmm. And I have neighbors behind me, and I love them. And they like to play their music loud, and they like to watch their Fox News even louder. Right? So they have like a grotto, they have a pool, they barbecue. I love them. They're awesome. But, they'll be playing Eminem one night, and then it's Sean Hannity the next. You never know what you're going to get. And I'm laying in my hammock, and I'm like on the verge of heat stroke. And all of a sudden, I hear my neighbor's wife scream, they shot Trump. And I thought I was like asleep. And I'm like, this can't be. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, my phone starts going off. It's you.
Yeah.
It's Robert O'Rourke. And all of a sudden, I pick up my phone. And I would like to think that I'm one of the first ones when it comes to reporting news stories in Valuetainment. Like, whenever I see a news story, we have a special chat. I send it to Pat right away. Like, I am the guy that's focused on the news all day long, and I missed it. I missed the biggest story where I'm laying in a hammock. And all of a sudden, so we decided to do the live podcast. But the second that it came down, here's what I did, Vinny. I called my son. My son was at his mother's house for the weekend. And I called him. I said, Ben, I want you to remember where you are right now and what you're doing right now. And he said, okay, why? And I said, they shot the president. And I said, this is going to be a moment that you will never forget. It's so weird. I had this same exact conversation with him 2 weeks ago at the debate. We were watching the debate together. And I said, Ben, remember where you are right now. Because right now you're watching the president of the United States candidacy and live on national television. We are an embarrassment to the entire world because the president cannot form a coherent sentence. In the past 3 weeks, I've had the same conversation with my son about historical moments, and this was one. Now, thank God he was all right, but that's when we jumped on the phone and everybody started going, hey, let's podcast. So thank you to you, Humberto, because you were one of the first people that told me.
We need to thank my mom.
Yeah. It was Humberto's mom.
She was the first, I don't know. So you know where it come from? She was watching it live. She watches every single Trump rally ever. And she calls me crying. She's like, Humberto, they just shot Trump. I'm like,
how did you get more Hispanic doing that impression?
Like, I actually put this on just to get away with saying horrible things.
Oh, no.
Anyhow, she calls me, and I was writing time to see before he got up.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even know if he was gonna get up. You know, she calls me, she sends me a link, I go in, and he was in the, it took like around 15-30 seconds for him to get up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this is not good, not good at all. And then I called you, first guy that I called.
By the way, I was supposed to be in Tampa doing a comedy show. I run a comedy production company, so we have a theater that I book comedy shows, and I usually host the monthly show. That show was scheduled to start at 7 p.m. on Saturday evening. In the midst of all this, I wasn't hosting the show. I hired somebody to go and host. In the midst of all this, I totally forgot that comedy show is even going on. So I start getting phone calls from the venue at 6:50 going, hey, what would you like to do about tonight's show? Because the president has just been shot. Not exactly the best time. Vinnie, you're a comedian. Can you imagine going up and performing stand-up comedy after the former president of the United States had just had an assassination attempt on his life?
Nope.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you right now, Robbie, that me personally, if the money was good, I would still have to go up. But in that type of moment, bro, I'm not thinking about any comedy or anything funny. I saw some other clips of some other comedian going up and trying to make light of it. Even though the joke kinda worked, it's still like, man, it's you're seeing evil in real time play out, and we've been predicting it for a year, almost a year. And yeah, man, I don't think anything's funny at that moment. I don't know if you guys saw PBD podcast. We went live on the emergency. Tom was crying, bro, and Tom almost made me cry. Yeah. But then in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the fucking angry patriot. I can't be emotional. I can't be crying right now because it's a sad moment, man. And it's
I'm not afraid to admit I cried too, man. Tom wasn't alone because there was that moment where I sat down. I went, oh, this just got real. Mm-hmm. And then my buddy started texting me. He goes, is this the match that starts a civil war? And that's when it started going in my head. I'm like, man, I've got kids. And this is the country that I'm bringing them up in, where this kind of evil exists, where I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. I voted for him in 2020. I got propagandized. Propagandizers are going to propagandize, and I got propagandized. So I fell for it. I was an idiot, but I've come around. I apologize. I am now on the right side of history. Mm-hmm. There are people out there, I would never, ever, ever cheer for the president to get shot. I would never hope. I feel bad, actually, and I said this a few weeks ago, that I feel bad watching Joe Biden and his cognitive decline. Makes me feel like it's elderly abuse. I would never wish ill on another human being. Yet there are people, and this is what I realized as I'm sitting on my porch and we're getting ready to do the podcast. I go, there are people out there that are happy that he got shot. And even sicker than that, there are people out there that are upset that he didn't get murdered. Yep. And that, for me, that's what made me cry. It was like a 5-minute, and it was like, it was more of a, this is heavy. Yeah. This is heavy, heavy shit. Brandon, where were you when the president got shot, the former president and future president? Because if you watch that video, Vinnie, of that comedian, that Cam, I believe his name is, Cam Patterson or Cam Peterson, the one takeaway that I had from watching his joke about the Trump assassination was that I wasn't going to vote now. Now I'm fucking voting for him. Yeah. And there are millions of Americans out there that feel that same exact way. So while I get it, it's hard to, I didn't find the humor hilarious. Oh, yeah, he's like my uncle. He's been shot. He's a convicted felon. Okay, good. You did well pivoting in a crucial moment. But really what I took away from that was that there's millions of people that are going to go vote for Donald Trump now because of this. Brandon, where were you? How did you hear? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was actually right here in the studio. I spend my Saturdays here. I was getting ready to film content about an entirely different topic and was down that rabbit hole. But then, saw the chat, saw Humberto sent it, and I'm like, what? And I mean, thank God that we have X now, because I just fired up the live stream right away and was live streaming the minute it happened. And, in real time, I'm just like, hey, this just happened. We have this one clip where he grabs his ear and goes down, looking at it took 10 minutes. Cause literally the second we got that text, I was looking at it, and for a good 10 minutes, there was nothing about it on Google or anything, no websites talking about, but then the next 20 minutes or so, we saw those flurry of articles we just saw saying the crazy things like he fell down or there's a popping noise or whatever. But then the only real news that I could find was on X of them showing like him like walking away and like raising his fist up and stuff. So like imagine the type of control they could have had over the information that we had available to us if X wasn't available, because they could have like made all those clips that we saw illegal of like the guy, like what was actually happening behind the scenes and everything. And to go off what you're saying about feeling emotion, I mean, the thing that really got me, that really made me like sad and angry at the same time, is just imagining the scenario in which like he actually did get killed and then the RNC would have the ability to pick the next Republican candidate, then everything would be fucked.
I want to go to Kelley and Connor, but quickly, you mentioned something about X.
Yeah.
And there was a moment, February 27th of 2012, it was the Chardon High School shooting in Chardon, Ohio. I was working on the radio in Cleveland, Ohio at the time. Mm-hmm. Twitter was in its infancy. It's 3 years old.
Yeah.
That shooting happens. And at that moment, I realized the power of Twitter, because what happened was we started searching on Twitter from students who were in the school. Because at that point, again, it's 3 years into its infancy, but every 15, 16, and 17-year-old was on Twitter. Right. So as a producer, we hear that this shooting happens at a nearby high school, but the news media is slow to report it. They're like, breaking news, this shooting's going on. But we went to Twitter and we started contacting students on Twitter and sending them tweets and going, can you call our radio show? We want to talk to you about what just happened in real time. And so we started having these high school students calling from the high school because of Twitter.
Yeah.
And then Fox News picked up and saw that we were doing that. And then Fox News started feeding our radio show out and broadcasting our radio show nationwide.
Wow.
And at that point I went, okay, that's the power that Twitter has.
Yeah.
And then you look at where Twitter went for about 12 years before Elon bought it, where it was this dark ages of just people shit talking and meme posting. And it wasn't utilized in any capacity for breaking news until, again, Saturday, where all of a sudden you realize this is the power of this medium where we can connect and break news and get information out quicker than the mainstream media
100%.
can.
And I want to pile up on that. Saturday, Twitter was the #1 most downloaded app and #1 grossing that
That's
day.
the only way you could find anything.
Yeah.
When we have an Unusual Suspects chat that we're in all the time because we love you guys and we're always working on our content. So you put it in the chat, I immediately go, I know we're going to do emergency podcast, so I'm immediately going to search it and I can't find anything. The one I remember was Sky News saying that he fell. So I was like wondering if you were even correct because everything there, it wasn't there, or there was nothing, or it was like a false headline where he fell, there was weird sounds, he's ill, whatever. So, the fact that I could only find it on Twitter in the links that we were sending in the chat afterwards just reinforces your guys' point that Twitter could be just the new news.
Your initial reaction to Trump getting shot?
I thought about my grandma and how she'd be crying. She's no longer with us, but I immediately texted my family because as much as we are Republicans, we have a hard time. We had a hard time voting for Trump this time around, the second time around, but we're staunch Republicans, and it's just I still respect President Joe Biden because he's my president and he's the one that's elected. He's hopefully running the country with his team. I would never want this to happen to him or any other president. I want to show respect to the president. The fact that Donald Trump was a former president and probably our future president, and that this could happen to him, and at such an egregious way, that all these errors in the Secret Service and the opportunity, the 1 second he turns his head, the fact that this could happen and that it almost did happen. It's so hard for me to talk about this. It's so hard for me to watch all of the footage because it's so scary to me. It's so scary to me, and everybody's reactions too, which we're going to talk about later. People that are like, "Oh, I'm so sad it missed." It makes me really struggle to have faith in humanity if people can react like this and support violence in this way. It makes me really sad.
I agree. It's super heavy, and
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
But it reinforced my faith in God. Because I can say now, Trump, he's endorsed by God. That's the only
I know.
way
Like, what are the odds?
Endorsed by God and endorsed by Elon. That guy's going to be the next president of the United States. I said it now.
But
100%.
You shouldn't sleep on this. Go ahead.
No. 100%. My faith in God is the only way that we're going to get through this part and get through this election cycle. And I'm scared. Like, I can't wait for Vinnie to come back. My friend Steve's out of the country right now. I can't wait for him to come back because I just want to live at their houses, with with them, and I'm like, can you protect me, please? Like, I'll do everything else, just like protect. Like, I'm very scared because I went around all weekend though wearing this shirt. I had to wash it a couple times. I saw Humberto yesterday. I texted Vinnie. I was like, I'm angry and I'm in shock and I'm scared. I'm scared too.
Kelley, in the end, we win. That's what it is. We win.
Yeah.
Guys, and Humberto actually nailed it, bro. Like, listen, say what you want. They have tried everything but what these demons don't understand, bro. God, it's the verses in Romans, bro. God picks the powerful leaders to control and, kind of run the world. Dude, God has literally armor around this guy, bro. When are they going to learn? You can't get rid of him, okay? And the more you mess with this guy, the stronger he gets. And I've been saying this for years. The left should have just left him alone. Leave him alone. He would have been leaving in November.
Yep.
But now you guys are exposed. You're out in the open. You're trying to kill him. When I say that, guys, don't believe this one assassin BS. Okay, to me, that's all bullshit. I believe in MK Ultra because it's a fact. In the 50s to 1973, they say they canceled it. They were doing mind control to create assassins. Okay, and it worked. And now that they're saying, oh, we stopped doing it, I don't believe in none of that shit. I don't believe, and we're going to get into the details, climbing, sniper looking. And mind you guys, I'm a marksman in the rifle and in the handgun. We're getting into it. That's all bullshit. Everything was all BS. And it was just a bunch of failures. Whoops. Where at the end of the day, nobody gets held accountable, but we'll get into that.
Let's get into the footage. But before we do, Connor, where were you? Your reactions to the president being shot?
I and my wife were over at my wife's family's house, just hanging out, having a family movie night, dinner. I'm pretty sure we just put in Top Gun, to watch over there.
The new one or the original?
One.
Okay.
But we love both. That's besides the point. That was just what happened to be on. But suddenly my phone's going off. It's Humberto saying, my mom was watching the live stream and says they shot Trump. So as soon as I got the text, I'm like, well, there goes my friggin' weekend. Because as Rob alluded to at the top of the show, my beloved partner in Undermining Democracy, Shane Devine, got a really good opportunity to go study in Greece for a while. So he has moved on to that. We wish him all the best. But what that meant is that now I'm the one who has to cover every single thing that comes across. I even sent him a text like, you picked a hell of a time to leave, you bastard. As I sat down and then spent the rest of the evening providing minute-by-minute breaking updates at vt.com. You can go back and read along with that as well.
Yeah, Shane would be sitting right here right now if he was still here.
Shane is no longer with us. However, this man is still with us.
Yes.
If you could, let's roll the tape, Jeremy. President Trump avoiding the assassination attempt by mere split seconds and what did they say? A quarter of an inch saved his life. Let's play the clip.
Holden, if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Jeez. All right, so you can hear the shots being fired at first. I'm assuming, Vinnie, I know you're out of everybody that's on this podcast, I believe you're the only one that has served in the armed forces. You're a former Air Force veteran. You were a trained marksman, correct? I'm a
marksman in the rifle and in the handgun. You become an expert.
That guy ends up getting off, it sounds like 4 or 5 shots before the Secret Service fires back. In your opinion, as someone who is a skilled marksman, somebody who has been trained, how does that happen? How does that guy get off 5 shots, 6 shots? How many shots were there actually fired? Do we know?
I believe it's reported between 5 and 7, but they're not sure which shots are from law enforcement returning fire and which ones are from the shooter.
To me, it sounded like it was 4 or 5 from the shooter, and then that quick burst afterwards is the Secret Service killing him.
Vinnie, your opinion.
Well, here's the thing, guys. Thank God, this isn't 1963, and we just had one guy, Zapruder, holding one freaking camera. This is 2024. Everybody and their mother has cameras. By the way, the gall and the balls of these demons to even try it, to do it. But first and foremost, Robbie, I'm just going to really briefly, the Secret Service's response. There's camera angles all around from people. One Secret Service at the most opportune time, he's guiding the camera crews. He moves away. He's like, you guys go stand over there. Shots go off. Okay, and these guys drop to the ground. One of the females gets down and is hiding behind the initial cover. And I'm telling you guys right now, from what I was seeing, the snipers that were on the roof, the SWAT, I don't know if they're Secret Service or just local law enforcement SWAT, they're looking at the direction of where the shooter is. I'm talking about for minutes. They're like this. They're checking it out. There's no excuse from that vantage point, that line of sight. They show up. There's a security detail that shows up weeks before to make sure that exact thing isn't happening, okay? So this is where all the questions arise, Robbie. He saw him. Now, think about it. Shots go off. They're kind of delayed in grabbing the president. They cover the president, okay? Your goal is to get him off as soon as possible in the vehicle, and he needs to get the hell out of there, okay? The shots go off. They bring him down. Then they stood, by the way, shooter down. You hear shooter down. How the hell do we know that there was only one shooter?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you, God? This is in the moment, the heat of all the craziness. Then they stand him up. They have a female Secret Service, the shortest person, try to hold. That's like having Wee Man from Jackass. Right? Like, what are you stopping? What are you trying to stop? And then, by the way, I don't care who it is. He's like, let me grab my shoes. Dude, he's Donald Trump. We all know who the hell he is. He's like, he's doing his thing, which I love. It should never have happened. They don't give a shit who you are, babe. They grab you. They get the hell right off the freaking stage. And then, to add to the debacle, dude, I've never seen this many female Secret Service women that were just on the side where Trump is. This almost seems like if you wanted to do something, I would assign only female detail. Put all females on his ass. And this is no disrespect to women at all. But, dude, we're talking about protecting the president. There's a photo of the main chick when they're all huddling around him. She's behind everybody, and she's like this. Listen, they're trained for this. And I hate when people are like, well, it's the heat of the moment. No. This is exactly what you're trained to do, period. And if you can't do your job, then this is what they get for announcing the Secret Service that by 2030, there's going to be 30% female Secret Service. God help us and God help the president, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. There was failures on all different sides. The guy was up there crawling and people were screaming, he's got a gun, and they did it. So my opinion, Robbie, and this goes back to the JFK thing, and Kelley at some point will show the Reagan assassination and how it's supposed to be done, and then how the Secret Service basically let two of the main bodyguards get away from JFK's motorcade, and they just basically let him, on purpose, let him go to his demise and to his death. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's so many questions we have to be asked. But as we know, guys, we're never going to really find out because they know how to, cover their tracks. And who knows how many years it'll take to find out the truth.
Speaking to your point regarding Director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, she actually got called out by Elon Musk on Twitter. Elon Musk quoted... Here's the quote from Elon Musk. So before being in charge of protecting the president, Kimberly Cheadle was guarding bags of Cheetos. That is because she was the head of security for Pepsi. And that allows her to, and qualifies her, because she's, I guess, a woman who has some type of security experience. She can be in charge of the Secret Service. That the same Secret Service that not just protects Donald Trump, also protects Joe Biden, and is now protecting service to RFK Jr. And one other thing, when it comes to the Secret Service, Vinnie, they're actually blaming the local police. They are claiming that the local police was actually tasked with securing properties surrounding the rally, but not actually the rally itself. So Secret Service in charge of the rally, but however, local police in charge of the building that the shooter shot from just 130 yards away from the stage.
And Robbie, and you see this confusion? You see this confusion that they throw in? Because if God forbid he was killed, here goes all the well, they were supposed to do it. No, we were supposed to do it. Well, we have to have females. We have to do this. All these leaks and all these holes, zero accountability. Okay? People keep saying assassination attempt, bro. Tell me this doesn't feel like a coup. Tell me this doesn't feel like they were like, listen, this is our shot, open field. Let's make a couple people F up at their jobs. People were screaming at law enforcement. Like, yo, that one guy, and we'll get to the clip, one guy saying, yo, we were telling the cops, there's a guy with a gun. And the cops were like, oh, we don't know what the hell's going on. This is the perfect scenario of just a confusion soup where people go, well, because think about it, Rob. They kill him, right? Now we have all these questions. There's no one person to blame. Well, she didn't do her job, right? One girl, when she drops her holster, putting on glasses, she messed up. And then the snipers were supposed to, they apparently got a stand down order. There's so much confusion. And then they'll do like a Warren report. Nobody's in trouble. Nobody gets fucking arrested. It's all a shit show. And do not fool yourselves, guys. This wasn't just a random dude this was all set up. This was all by the deep state. This is exactly what the guy's been saying. This is exactly what Pat has been saying. And this is exactly what Andrew Tate has been saying. You're a character first. They try to put you in jail. They try to bankrupt your ass. And then it's chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
Yeah,
right? And
anybody who's saying
God is watching.
Anybody who's saying security failures, though, I can't believe that that's a talking point on TV. Like, if you can't take the facts that are around the thing and say that it was a blatant coup, then I don't know what you're looking at.
No, it's either. So I wrote down two things. It's either because when you look at it, there's the reports of the eyewitnesses. We'll get to in just a second. I have some video I want to show. It's either because there's the reports of eyewitnesses telling the police.
Yeah.
B, there's actually reports. This is from NBC News. This is yesterday. Report where gunman shot at Trump was identified as a security vulnerability before the rally.
Yep.
So they knew that building was something that should be secured and looked at, and somebody chose to not. So for me, it's either a mix of incompetence and cowardice and we'll get to it, but there's a report that a local police officer actually climbed up on top of the roof of the building, confronted the gunman before he shot the shots. The gunman then turned his AK-47 at the cop, and the cop went back down the ladder. Yeah. He didn't take out his weapon and shoot the shooter on sight. Yeah. He retreated.
Treason.
So it's either
treason.
It's either incompetence and cowardice, or it's treason. Yeah. Where there is literally a conspiracy to kill a former president of the United States, and it played out in front of everybody.
There's so many things that went wrong. I really want to play all this stuff because we're talking about it already. But this next video, Vinnie already brought it up earlier. I couldn't believe this happened. Trump said, wait. The Secret Service just stopped. They're not even protecting his head. And I get it. It's the most iconic moment ever. I love it so much.
Can I tell you why? Let me tweet. And Vinnie, Vinnie, I want to go to you in a second. Let me tell you what I tweeted this morning, because this is how I feel. Listen, this is going to come off as I'm a Trump MAGA guy. I'm not. Again, I voted for Biden in 2020. I regret it. If RFK was on the ticket or on the ballot, I would be considering voting for him over Trump. He's not, so my option is Trump, and I'm more than happy with it now. I'm actually on the Trump train.
Welcome to Trump train, buddy.
I am now MAGA. Get me my hat. Here is what I tweeted this morning. At this exact moment, we're going to play the video. This is when Trump gets up and he does the fist pump and he yells, "Fight." At this moment, Trump had no idea if he was safe. He didn't know where the shooter was, if he'd been neutralized, or if there were multiple shooters. For all he knew, this moment, and Jake, if we could get this video ready, this moment right here could be his last act before being killed.
Yes.
And rather than being a coward, what does he do? He breaks Secret Service cover to raise his fist in solidarity with the American people, and he tells them to do what? Fight. He didn't know if there were bombs. He didn't know if there were multiple shooters. He had no idea what was going on. We can all sit here on Monday morning quarterback it now and go, oh, he knew. He heard guy down. You didn't know that there weren't multiple shooters. Nobody knew in the chaos of what was going on in those 20 seconds between that time that bullet ripped through his ear and the time that he stood up and told the American people to fight. Nobody knew what was going on. Yeah. So that guy's last message, the last message that Donald Trump wanted the American people to hear out of his mouth before he was assassinated or shot by multiple people, which could have happened, is to fight.
Yeah,
that is the most powerful fucking thing that I take away from this, is that his message to us was to fight, to not back down, to move forward with or without me. Because he gets shot walking off that stage and he's dead. His last words to you, to me, to my children, were to fight.
Yeah.
And that's
so
powerful.
iconic.
Beautiful and iconic. I mean, it's great of him to do that, but I think it's just the failing Secret Service not drag him away by brute force.
100%.
Because like it's almost like they're intimidated by him to like be forceful.
They're not even blocking his
he's
head.
taller
He's
than all of
open
them.
for a headshot
No,
again.
But like in any other situation, you see the Secret Service being really forceful with the president, like we'll see in the Reagan thing later. But with him, it's like they're afraid or shy to be forceful with him.
Let's
But,
play
Play the video.
yeah.
Next,
Kelly, can we see this video?
Yeah, play the video and then we'll go to Vinny.
We're on Vinny.
I want to be on Vinny.
Fight.
This made me cry.
Shortest Secret Service chick in the front.
And you know what they're cheering in the back, Vinny? As he yells, fight, fight, the crowd starts chanting USA, USA. Like for me, that's when I go, that's like when you say it, I cry. That's also what got to me was like, look at this patriotism that these people feel after witnessing what they just witnessed.
Yeah, epic.
Vinny.
Kelly, can you queue up? I want to show the Reagan one. This is we're going to show President Reagan's assassination attempt, and I want you guys to see. You want to talk about this guy was shooting like multiple rounds with a handgun, but look at how fast he goes from there to the car, and he is gone.
Exactly.
There's no fist pumping. There's no celebration. There's no. It is in and out. And tell me how many female Secret Service members you see.
Go ahead, play.
Ronald Reagan was 2 months into his presidency when John Hinckley Jr. drew a $29 handgun.
Gone. These people are shot. The president's motorcade already leaving. He's already leaving.
He wounded the president, Brady, a Secret Service agent, and a Washington police officer. Reagan and his guards fully recovered, but the .22 caliber bullet exploded into Brady's forehead and left him partially paralyzed. He spent the rest.
Okay, guys. So, and mind you, I'm okay. He's on the stage. I get it. The vehicle's off to the left. There is zero excuse. There is zero excuse, and I don't care. Listen, there's not like different like rankings of Secret Service. You all get the same training. The protocol is the same. Shots fired. Cover. Get him out of there. Mm-hmm. He's a sitting duck on stage. And then what the f is that? Is the female? What are you doing with your arms up, bitch?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is 6 foot. He's huge. And his face is out there again. That could have been another kill shot if there was another one of these assholes.
That's not just on her. There are a lot of grown men. That was not a sentence. There are so many grown men around him, and they're all failing. It's not just her.
There's
Kelly,
more than enough blame to go around
Kelly,
here.
From the top to the bottom, I agree.
Yes.
But in that case, what is she doing standing in the front of him?
Yeah.
She's the shortest one.
I agree.
And mind you, there was another one behind that group. When they were down, she's sitting there like this. Listen, guys, and I'm sorry, Kelly, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry, people, you sign up for the Secret Service. Do you know what one of the first questions I'm pretty sure is? Are you willing to die for this man, whoever, male, female, president? You signed up. The number one thing is, do we think that you're the person? Because they take lie detector tests and shit. Are you willing to die for whoever this person is, regardless their party affiliation? Because Secret Service, we don't know who the fuck loves Trump. We don't know who loves Biden. That's why I don't trust any of them. But the failures were monumental, and we're not going to know. But there needs to be firings, and Trump's personal security needs to be amped up by fivefold. And there needs to be an alliance, a movement of ex-military veterans, sharpshooters, whatever, guys, like a coalition to get with the government and say, guys, we are the trusted, we're the ex-veterans. We will set up around the perimeter to make sure this type of shit doesn't happen. Because don't get it twisted, guys. They're going to try again.
Yes.
And if they don't try again, the plan B is going to be terrorist attack. Stop. They can't let the election happen. Let's just.
They will burn it all down.
And I think we have to stop calling things failures, right? This isn't a failure of the Secret Service. This isn't a failure of the local police. Just like it wasn't a failure of intelligence when 9/11 happened. Just like it wasn't a failure of intelligence when October 7th happened or 6th. None of those were failures of intelligences. These were orchestrated attacks in which it seems right now like there were people on the inside that allowed this man to take this shot. We have a video, and we'll get to it. Let's run through some of these slides, because Kelley spent like 15 hours putting together a 42-slide presentation, and we're on slide 3, and we're an hour in. So I want to go to this photo real quick. This one is this is the bullet. Is this the one that went through his ear, or something that went?
This went through. I think it's the one that went through his ear, but we're not sure.
I mean, these are iconic images. So again, as you're watching these, remember, these are going to be immortalized in textbooks for children to read about in history coming forward. Most likely it'll be dictator Donald Trump, similar to Hitler, almost killed or falls at rally. But here's the photos. Here it is, a video showing how close Donald Trump was to getting JFK'd. Take a look, literally mere milliseconds and a quarter of an inch, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Think about that. A quarter of an inch and a millimeter of a second, and we're in civil war. We're not here praising the American Patriot shirts. We're not here podcasting right now. If that bullet hits Trump in the back of the head, we are in full-blown civil war. I'm not saying anyone in this room would bear arms and do anything violently. I am saying that the reaction from people would be uncontrollable. And if you thought burning down fucking Walgreens were something to worry about with Black Lives Matter, just imagine what would happen if the president of the United States got shot in the head and killed. There would be outrage that could not be controlled.
Yeah.
Rob, you made a fantastic point. Humberto, I'm so sorry because we'll go to you right after. Rob, you made a great point. Look at what happened. Okay, BLM, all the riots, Antifa, George Floyd, okay, whatever. Let's put that. Burn down the whole city, billions of dollars, billions in their own cities, right? The Donald Trump, the leader of the MAGA, extreme white MAGA, Hitler movement, extremists, did anybody riot? Did any of us burn shit down? Did any of us kill fucking cops? No, because we're not freaking psychotic and we're not brainwashed idiots. We're waiting. We're assessing the situation, and I'm proud. I am extremely proud that this far crazy fringe group that we are didn't do shit, because we know who the real enemy is, and it isn't us. It isn't us. We're awake. We're not freaking stupid. We know who the enemy is, okay? And you know who the enemy is, okay? You have to. And if any of you are watching, we know that it's you. Okay, we're not stupid enough to start killing and burning our freaking town down because of this stupidity, bro. And I'm proud, Rob. You made a great point that we didn't do none of that shit.
No, and you know what would happen, though, Vinny, is that there would be instigators, much like, take a look at the protests that were going on college campuses in the Northeast. Eric Adams, the Democratic mayor of New York City, came out and said they were paid agitators in that crowd to stir up the protest, get people angry, start looting, start burning things. I'm not saying that we would respond in that manner if the president shot. I'm saying that there would be some type of plants that would go around and start this shit. And then when we respond and we defend, these guys are starting a civil war.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you just killed the president, and then you start, setting it up to make it look like right-wing Antifa people are burning down things. No, what it would be a setup where there's paid agitators to go out and make it look like we're doing that, and then we're forced to defend ourselves. And when we do, then we're the bad guys, and we start a civil war.
We don't.
Well, you said that you cried, Vinny, and you almost cried as well. The thing is that since we're 3 steps ahead and we know what's coming, we know the heaviness of this. Like, we're literally like half an inch from a civil war, and we knew this because we read the news. We know what is happening. They just dropped the charges for Trump's case,
the classified documents case in the state of Florida,
because they know the tension that is going in the air. Like when this happened, like because I saw him before he stood up, I was like, oh shit, like it's gonna hit the fan, and this will happen if they finish him. Because these people are not stopping right here. And I can guarantee you that they're not stopping right here. They're going to pull something else.
That's the thing. I'm not really...
We might have reacted if this didn't happen. If we could show this photo, Jeremy, he did everything for us. This photo is iconic. This photo says everything. He says fight. We don't have to do anything because he did it for us when he stood up.
I thought that guy was Hitler. Remember when they would call him Hitler every day on the news? He will take away women's rights. We'll go. And my wife said, I remember this. Her friend came to her and said, I can't vote for Trump because the world will turn into the Handmaid's Tale. Because of what the news reported. They called him a dictator. They called him Hitler. Now, all of a sudden, if Hitler got shot, do you think Churchill would have released a statement going, I wish Hitler thoughts and prayers? He wouldn't have gotten on Twitter back in the 1940s and wished that. Yet, for some reason, the same guy that every person that the news media sat here and vilified and called Hitler, he's going to be the downfall of democracy. He should not have access to new codes. He's going to start World War III. That same guy, all of a sudden, they're tweeting their thoughts and prayers to him. Would you really do that if the motherfucker was Hitler?
Yeah, no. and the idiots going like, oh, they didn't kill him, and they were selling they were. I don't know if you saw the video of the guy crying because they didn't actually kill Trump. They don't know the heaviness of a civil war. Like, I can't disclose where, but I've been in 2 countries that were having an ongoing civil war. Like, I've seen a civil war, and my country was this close to getting into a civil war. And that's brothers killing brothers. That's it's heavy. They're way more bloody than normal wars. There's no rules about it. You don't know who is who, and people that wish for Trump to be dead, they don't even know the weight of a civil war. They don't even know what's coming. And we think that here in America it will never happen, but things do happen. You know, a civil war started this country, and a civil war might end it.
We're not off the hook either, though.
Brandon, go ahead.
We're all accidentally relieved, we're off the hook, though. But I'm not at ease for a second. I think Trump should be in a fucking bunker until the election, and then until Inauguration Day.
Oh, he won't do
Bunker
that. Boy, that's
who cares?
Bunker boy.
He won.
He won. Now he's too scared to go out in public.
No, he should be. He should be too scared to go in public.
He won't do it though.
I know. That's why I'm worried.
Exactly who he is, and he will refuse to hide. He will only stand up for everything that we've been saying, that we believe in. And I think he's crazy, but I think it's incredible.
What's it worth, though, if he gets killed?
He has better security.
Brandon, I agree with the security. I mean, the dude, Pat even mentioned it, the bulletproof something. I'm shocked that they're not doing it already. But I wanted to ask you guys all a question. And Connor, I'll go to you first. What do you guys, be honest. I got goosebumps right now. Hillary Clinton and all them, when they found out the news, Hillary, every girl from The View, Whoopi, all them, Rosie O'Donnell, guys, Kathy Griffin, when they found out they missed, did you guys think that in your head that they were like, shit,
of course,
we almost got him? I guarantee it.
Yeah.
From Obama to Hillary to Biden to Hunter Biden, dude, all of them, the entire left, I know it in my bones that they were like, shit, we missed our chance. Take that shit to the bank. Yeah. So I don't believe any of this bullshit canned response tweets Joe Biden as if we think he's tweeting. Remember, Karine Jean-Pierre got caught tweeting from his account, that dumb bitch. Listen, and I'll tell you guys right now, it's 1,000%. They are pissed that they missed their shot. They are so freaking pissed. And I don't want to hear none of those pieces of shit like, who's the Morning Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. They had to cancel their show today. They had to not air it and not go live because of their fucking rhetoric, because of the crap that comes out of their freaking mouths, bro.
But
unbelievable.
Vinny, so are you not worried about another attempt, though? Because I think that the ruthless, vicious deep state is desperate and that they have all the resources in the world to make something happen. And anything, they can even take remote control of his plane and crash it.
I think, Brandon, I think if any security posture goes down right now, would be the biggest mistake. Now that they know that they have an opportunity and that he's vulnerable, why not do it again? Like, Brandon, as if the Secret Service people are going to change. They're not going to fire those people.
If you look
they're still going to be around him.
If you look at history, how World War I started, Franz Ferdinand made his first assassination attempt, and he failed. And then by mistake or by dumb luck, the Archduke passed in front of him. He was sitting in a bar. He was defeated that he couldn't kill the guy. And it took like 6 or 7 hours. And that's what started World War I. So like these things are not clean. And then you look in retrospective how things started, and it can happen at any time.
Well, the scary part, and let's get to this footage because I want to get back to what they keep calling a failure of security. And I would like to show some of the witnesses. The scary part is, okay, we break out into civil war, terrifying in and of itself. Okay. Now, what happens if we break into a civil war and our enemies, China, Russia, we've we've grown a lot of enemies. We have a lot of people who don't like the United States. Imagine if the United States breaks out in a civil war, then what do the foreign enemies who view us as a hostile power and want to overtake us, how do they look at that? They look at that as an opportunity. So we got a feeble-minded president of the United States, the guy that, was going to save us from the deep state and try and right the ship. Donald Trump just got murdered. This is all hypothetical. We break out in a civil war, and then all of a sudden Russia or China invade,
We're doomed.
or attacks. We're fucked.
We're fucked.
It's the end of so when they say Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, no. What Donald Trump went through was the biggest threat to democracy
100%.
that has happened to this country since 9/11. And so it's not Russia. It's not PP tapes with him getting tinkled on. It's not him paying off porn stars. It's not Project 2025. It's lunatics with access to guns who have been propagandized by the mainstream media to believe this guy is Hitler reincarnated. And then they go up on a roof and they shoot at him because people don't even try and stop him. Take a look at this footage. This is from a ginger MAGA guy. He is in Pennsylvania. I wish they would have gotten anybody but the guy that looks like the lead singer of The Offspring. What did they travel back to 1999 to find this guy? Pull this guy up. Who rocks a visor with hair out like that? But regardless, you're a patriot and your pleas for help were ignored. Please play the tape.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but, we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
We can cut it here. We've seen the
up
rest of this. But, that's just one of the warnings. And then, Vinny, I want to play you 2 more clips of warnings and then get your reaction to them. Here's the next warning. This is video, Kelley, from at the rally grounds. Yep. This is how many minutes out? I can't read that tweet. My eyes are bad. I got coma.
It's almost this video only shows an entire minute before it happened. But as you saw on the previous one, it had been several minutes, but this is just a minute before.
Okay, let's roll this tape.
He was doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I could get some beautiful places.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And son, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
And
it happens.
You went right on the roof with that.
Okay, now listen. We'll have one more video. Let's play this final video. Is this the same video? Or this is a different one. This is the one
different
that's
angle.
All right, this is a different angle. Real quick, let's just play this.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there.
So right now,
everybody sees him.
So 3 people in the crowd have seen this guy and filmed him sitting up on top of the roof. That's 3 more people than the Secret Service of the United States and the local police department saw.
Like a whole crowd.
3 more people in the crowd alerted, and they're sitting there and they're yelling, "Hey, he's up on the roof. That's weird." And they're like, "Huh, Vinny, your thoughts?"
Bob, okay, as if anybody else that's watching what we just showed, this isn't a cheap fake. You're watching with your own freaking eyes for minutes, not 5 seconds, not 10 seconds, not even 35, 40. I'll give them 1 minute. For 3 to 5 minutes, Okay? There's somebody low crawling into position. He's not dressed in tan camouflage to even blend in. There's a ladder for him to get out there. There are snipers watching. Guys, he was only 130 meters away and nobody's doing anything. That, to me, seems like a stand down order, meaning turn your head, let it happen, and then when it happens, oh no, they killed the president. Okay? That's exactly what I'm seeing. So don't be fooled, okay? And even if you're watching this live right now, and you're one of these Democrat leftist brainwashed haters that's just here to hate, okay? Don't lie to yourself, okay? Punch yourself in the head a couple of times, get that brain moving of yours, and see with your own eyes. There's no excuse. They're telling law enforcement, they're telling everybody, Secret Service is watching them point, and you still let it happen? And then there's reports that one of the guys was told to stand down and wait and not to engage. What are we talking about, guys? Okay? And if you don't think that there's a such thing as divine intervention, you're stupid. They picked the wrong assassin. This guy messed up. He didn't gauge the wind right. Because with sniping, you got to, gauge the wind. This is Philly. You can hear the wind blowing. He messed up. Okay? And it's obvious, Rob. It's so obvious. There's no excuse for that. And if multiple people aren't fired, Rob, this isn't just a rinky-dink, like a town fair and there's a shooter. No. This is Donald Trump. This is the most hated person in the political spectrum in the history of the United States, and you're letting people get into position to shoot him? It's ridiculous, bro. Brandon, I'm going with Brandon, bro. This looked like a setup coup, and it failed, thank God, but there's no excuse for that, Rob.
Two things. I don't think hated is the right term for him. I don't think he's the most hated. I think he's the most polarizing.
Most dangerous to the system.
Hold on. I think he's the most polarizing. And the reason I think he's the most polarizing is because as much hate as there is for him from the left, there's even more love for him from the right. And so he can't be the most hated because there is a huge demographic of Americans that love this man. And you can see that by the attendance at his rallies, the people who wear the merch, the people who support the message. There are people that travel around the country like Donald Trump is the Grateful Dead, going from city to city, from rally to rally. Humberto's mom is live streaming his rally. When has that ever happened in the history of American politics? The only other person I can think that was ever almost this much loved in this capacity was Obama. So I don't think he's the most hated. I think he's the most polarizing. And what I think we learned on Saturday is that a lot of people that were in the middle see how much the hatred and vitriol from the crazy side is. And now they're like, yo, I may not love him, but I'm with him. And I think that's what wins this guy the election. Is that Adam always talks about the movable middle, Vinny. That movable middle just moved all the way to the fucking right. There's no movable middle anymore. I think everybody that was going to be convinced has been convinced. Now, you mentioned the sniper, and Brandon, we'll get to you in 1 second. I want to show a few of these things of the snipers, and then there is a very great overlay time lapse that we're going to show you in full, which shows you exactly how much time both the Secret Service and the local police department had to act before the shots were fired. But first, let's take a look at some of these photographs from the sniper from the Secret Service on the top of the rooftop protecting Trump at the rally on Saturday. Here it is. I can't read that. Kelley, you're closer. Could you read that?
Yes, this is it's going to start with 7 minutes before the shots went out. These are the two snipers that were supposed to be looking and protecting Trump. We could go ahead and play it.
7 minutes and 21 seconds before the shots are fired.
Yep.
Now that's according to that guy's timestamp. We're not exactly sure.
42 seconds before the shots. They're looking down their rifles.
Comes right out of
their
Border
scopes,
Patrol.
whatever.
Okay, so we see them there. Let's go to the next graphic. The next graphic that we have is the alleged ID of the sniper who was on the roof. This according to Twitter. Now, we cannot verify that this is the name of the sniper. We're just telling you what has been reported online by independent journalists. However, there has been research, Connor, you can speak to this, which allegedly shows that a man by the name of Jonathan Willis, if you could go back to the previous screen for a second, this tweet right here identifies the sniper as Jonathan Willis. According to reports on the internet, and believe what you will, there is a LinkedIn account that belongs to, go ahead, you fill in the rest.
Yeah, so the original claim here seems to have come from a 4chan post, allegedly written by this sniper, Jonathan Willis, who's saying he's the one on the roof. He's the guy currently in that photo looking down the scope. He received basically a stand down order where they were told not to shoot. They had the guy in their sights for up to 3 minutes. Were told not to shoot first. They had to wait for him to do something. Like I said, it's unverified whether he actually wrote this, but they have done research where they found a LinkedIn profile for a guy named Jonathan Willis who is working for the Secret Service. So at least this person is confirmed to exist. Whether or not he actually wrote this post.
Do you see the bottom of that post?
I
didn't follow the orders, though. As soon as the shooter opened on Trump, I returned fire despite strict orders not to engage. I had eyes on the shooter for 3 minutes, watching him fiddle with his rifle and adjust his scope. It was obvious he was a shooter, and I wasn't allowed to engage. After I killed the shooter, I was arrested, questioned by the FBI, and just released an hour ago. Already lost my job for not following orders, but I'm glad I took the shots anyway.
Well,
Is that true? Holy cow.
Though.
Yeah, and on 4chan.
Yeah, like,
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's not where you go with this kind of thing. And if it's true, imagine, like, just hypothetically, if this is true, and the guy had sights on the shooter and was told don't engage, and then he did, and he's the reason the guy is dead now, and they fired him for it. How insane is that? What does that mean about our law enforcement? Meanwhile, you got all the female Secret Service agents, hiding behind Trump, leaving his head wide open, dropping sunglasses, not able to holster their weapons properly. They're fumbling around like 0077 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
Like trying to
First of all, a photo says 1,000 words. You don't know that she was hiding. It looks like she's hiding in the photo, but obviously
Kelley.
the big tall wait, my turn.
Oh,
wait. The big tall men are obviously going to be the closest to Trump to protect as much of his body mass as possible. If there's a female, maybe she's coordinating. Maybe she's like, okay, I'm going to tell the group to move. Like maybe she's the person that doesn't have to worry about protecting his body, but telling the group where to go. So yes, it doesn't look good, but you don't know exactly what happened. And there are so many other things that went wrong. Can we just forget about the females for a second?
No, we can't.
No, because she left a gap.
Like it's just
that's not her job.
No, but come
the
on,
men
Kelley.
were supposed to protect his body mass.
When do we have women protecting men?
Yeah.
The world is upside down.
Listen, if the woman looks like Nicole Bass, if you guys remember, Nicole Bass was a bodybuilder from the 90s. Do you remember China? Does anybody watch wrestling here? Okay, I'm the only virgin.
I love China.
Vinny, if you had a testosterone-juiced bodybuilder female, I'm okay with that, Kelley.
Right.
And I'm not sexist. I'm all for women in the workplace, but there's certain positions where you're just not qualified to do. Look at me. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to go be a physical trainer at LA Fitness. So I certainly would understand if I went in, I'm like, well, DEI, hire a chubby guy with bitch tits. Let me help guys get rid of theirs. They're going to go, no, dickhead. So there's certain jobs you're just not qualified to do. And clearly by what we saw on Saturday, those women in that position, not qualified. If they were jack bodybuilders that look like female Arnold Schwarzeneggers, then I'm totally fine.
Dude, what do you mean, Rob? I would much rather have 5 Rosie O'Donnells that are huge. I want some big Lizzo-type bitches just duct taped around them. If you're going to be there, listen, if you're going to be, I don't want no short, skinny female. Listen, if we're going to really protect the president, I want huge, overweight NBA, WNBA size women just to be out there because listen, I'm sorry you signed up for protecting the president. And that resume includes you getting shot or stabbed or blown up.
I think any one of them would have got shot.
Kelley, I just sent you a photo. Let me tell you, I sent you a photo. If there's some way you could just put it up, I slacked it to at the end, and to tell me when you're ready. At the end of the day,
I saw it.
Do the hands.
Hold on.
Shit is hitting the fan. There's a lot of shit. There's one fan. We have a big fan. You tell me and Rob and Kelley, whenever you're ready to go, let me go because I'll keep talking.
1 second.
Pandemonium is happening, guys. And I know me, Rob. I go to the fire. Okay, I'm an angry patriot, but I'm a soldier, bro. I love an actual patriot. Loves and is devoted to this country. But I'll do anything for America and to protect the president at all costs. If I signed up to be that, I'm diving on top of him to protect him. You tell me, Kelley, this female, this is one of the ones you got her?
Show it.
Show her. What is she doing?
Okay, wait a second. I'm just saying.
Guys, she is hiding behind everybody.
I'm just saying. It's obviously not her job to body shield the president because she is
What's
small.
her job? To smell the Secret Service?
You don't know what her job is. She could be coordinating the whole group. She could be like, okay, guys, we're going to move to the left and right. Maybe
She looks like she's giving him a rectum. She looks like she's giving him a rectal exam. What the fuck is she?
I totally get it. Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. You don't know. So obviously she's not there to protect his body mass. Those guys are, first of all. Second of all, if you're busy shielding the president, you might not be listening 100% to what is going on around you. Your only job is to think about your physical space and that you're protecting the president. Somebody else on the outside has to be the one to say, okay, it's clear, go, to physically touch you and move you. They have those things they touch.
Kelly, that needs to be a man. We're built like, okay, let's say
it doesn't have to be a man.
It does.
They don't panic.
They
didn't panic.
She
They're
was
looking
panicking.
around. They're being
Let's say
hyper-vigilant.
she was 6'7".
You are Monday morning quarterbacking
let's
this.
say,
It is so unfair.
Let's say she was 6'7", but on the inside it's different. Okay, let me talk to you about suicide in males, okay? Women attempt suicide 8 times more than men.
Oh,
men
100%.
succeed because we have that mindset of just going for it every single time.
I
better at it.
No, when it comes to life,
Hold on. Everybody's yelling. Hold on. I want to go to Vinnie because Vinnie has been trying to say something for a minute, and I would like to hear what he has to say.
Women try it 8 times more, but we accomplish it. You know what that means?
Yeah,
Men are better at it.
We do. Because I say, if we're gonna do something, we do it.
Yeah, but Kelley, do me a favor, my love. Go to the video of the female aftermath. We haven't shown that one yet, right?
Plus,
there's a video I want you guys to see. And it's just weird because I've never seen, I personally have never seen, Vincent Oshana, I've never seen this many female Secret Service on one detail at the same time and protecting the side where the president is leaving, and they're the shortest people. I understand.
So all the guys are the ones that get in the car. The females are the ones that are left outside, not directly protecting the president.
Kelley, do me a favor. Tell me when you're ready for the video.
I don't have the link, so somebody needs to send it to me.
Let's do this. Let's pause for a second. Let's find the video. And while we're finding that video, Vinnie, this will give you 2 minutes, Kelley, to find the video.
I don't have it. So somebody, Vinnie, if you have it, send me the link.
If anybody can find it and send Kelley the link, that would be great.
I'm doing it right now.
I want you guys to watch this because when we go back to this failure of security, and again, remember, there's reports, if you're just joining us, things that we have reported on today. There were reports that the rooftop was a security vulnerability prior to the rally. This is noted by NBC News. It has been reported that a local police officer actually climbed up the ladder and confronted the suspect. The suspect then pointed his weapon at that officer. The officer then retreated down the ladder, and then the suspect took shots at the president. There's also reports, and we played the video, of people warning police minutes before the shooting. But this video right here is the important one for you to play. This is a sync of all of the videos. The witnesses warning Trump. I want you to see how long they had to get President Trump off of that stage before the shots took place when people started alerting authorities that there was a gunman on a roof. Here is the video. We have less than 20 minutes left and 47 other slides to get to. So we're going to roll through this, but here's the video. Let's play this, and I want to get everybody's reactions to this video right here.
He was doing his job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with the gorgeous ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate
What's happening?
and to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than
Okay, 45 seconds in, they start yelling that there's a shooter on the roof. Think about that. 45 seconds in, and there's still a minute 15.
In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services. Comes right out of
now, since someone
Border
started
Patrol.
there's a shooter on the
Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit over that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And
you hear that? He's got a gun. A minute, 17-ish seconds, where they knew that that people were screaming, there's a person on the roof with a gun, and nobody does anything. And you know that there's sharpshooters up on the roof because we've shown you the video and footage of them.
And Rob, here's something really important we need to discuss about this. We've mentioned, the shooter on the roof. It was not a roof. It was the roof. They are in the middle of a friggin' field. There are 2 buildings. One of them has the counter snipers from the Secret Service. The other one is a big cluster of buildings within gunfire range of where Trump is standing. But Trump is just out in the middle of nothing. They are not having to scan hundreds and hundreds of high-rise buildings around there. There's the photo right there. We should cut to that. The red pin up towards the top, that's where the shooter was. The red line is to Trump. The green line is to where the Secret Service was standing. They didn't check the one other building.
The only other thing I saw when they do a wide shot of this was a water tower. And I went, so obviously you would check the water tower, right? You don't want anybody perched up there. But then you would also think, hey, there it is. Is there anywhere else that this person could be hiding? Yeah, on the roofs of the fucking building.
White roof, black.
Connor, fantastic point. There's nothing else. They weren't in the middle of downtown New York. They're out in freaking Hickville, Pennsylvania, out in the sticks. That's the only place that they were looking at, and everybody was screaming. Guys, the more videos you guys show, the more it's pointing towards exactly what we're talking about. And I don't know if you guys noticed that one video. Why, during all the pandemonium, is there a John Deere truck spraying water on everybody? What the hell was that about?
So I figured out what that was. According to reports on the internet, and if you actually look at the video footage, there is evidence to support this, Vinny. It looks like one of the stray bullets that luckily did not hit the president or anybody in that crowd hit the hydraulics line to the John Deere tractor, and that was hydraulic fluid that was spraying out. Because if you watch the video, you can actually see that the John Deere tractor was holding up a speaker, and as that fluid starts shooting out into the crowd, the speaker starts to lower. So I'm not a hydraulics expert. I look like I should be on a John Deere tractor. Never have been. I got no experience. But that's what the video that I saw. That's what that looked like. But everything else looks super suspicious.
Rob, come on. You can ask Vinnie. You can ask Vinnie right now. 4th of July, Vinnie gets approached. 3 guys. I was there right behind Vinnie in less than 45 seconds because I saw them approaching. I didn't know if they were drunk. I didn't know their intention. I didn't know anything. I had my fat white belly out, but I was there in 45 minutes. Same thing happened when I rolled with Adam. Like if I see guys approaching Adam, whatever I'm doing, I turn around and see what's going on.
45 seconds. You said minutes. Yeah. Pretty much took them 45 minutes to
45
respond.
45 seconds.
Your job position is not Secret Service for valuetainment. You're head of distribution.
I've done dangerous things. Like only one guy got stabbed, and I called it before. And that's what you do. Situational awareness. You're looking everywhere. But I don't know. This sus.
All right, we have. Hold on. We have 14 minutes.
Rob, stay on what you're doing, though, Rob, because I have to. Because me and Kelley, I want to show Kelley. I gotta show her. You guys, this is after the president. They get him off stage. Robbie, you've held guns. She doesn't even know where her holster is, okay? And then the girl that finally gets Trump in puts on her sunglasses and straightens her jacket for the cameras. Show that video, Kelley. Then I want to hear what you have to say.
I heard the back fat was in the way.
Hey, easy.
Yeah, let's see. Look at this. Watch.
I have back fat.
Watch this. Keep watching. I'll narrate. Watch this.
If you're covering
the president, where her holster is.
Are you holstering your gun?
And then watch this. Watch the girl by the door. Put on my glasses and fix my jacket. Okay. Yeah. Look at them. There's 3 girls. Well, they look like they've never done this. They don't know. They've never done this drill before. What are they doing? They're confused. They're lost. They don't know what this is like the first day. I'm telling you guys right now, DEI almost had Trump DIE, period. That's what almost happened.
So
Okay?
I've never actually held a gun. But I held one once when I was 5 or 6. My uncle was a police officer. I went to the police station. They showed me I remember one of my earliest memories, but I've never actually held a gun or fired one. Vinny, that's how I would act if I was in that position and panicking, never having held a gun before. I'd be trying to put it away, not knowing what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
So that would be what an inexperienced person would do. Kelley, go ahead and try and defend that.
Kelley, go.
Good luck.
So
Yeah, Kelley, defend this. Defend
okay,
this.
I see. I honestly, I see. I just want to point out the men got in the car. The women are, they're the second line. They're not the first line, okay? Secondly, yes, it looks bad, but there's adrenaline going. And you're right. You're right, though, Vinny. There's adrenaline going, and she's nervous, or she's trying to find, their heads are on a swivel, or trying to be hypervigilant. But I think you're right. There's probably should be men. They should, what am I trying to say? I get what you guys are saying.
Kelley, I want to ask you on it. Kelley, be completely honest with me.
Yeah.
Be dead serious with me.
Yeah.
You're the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Kelley Ann Arnold, sitting president of the United States. Yeah. You're going to go out and you're going to speak, and you get to pick, you, Kelley, personally, 10 Secret Service people to protect you that day. Are you picking any females just to be like, hey, girls, we're doing this? Or are you picking...
No, okay.
Hold on, be honest.
Okay, I'm being 100% honest. I have 2 things to say to that. One, literally, I told you guys I was scared after this happened. I am scared. Vinny, I can't wait for you to come home. I can't wait for Steve to come home. Like, my first reaction is I want the men to protect me. I want that 100%. I would choose probably all men. So I just want to make out this other point. Like, you were talking about protecting Adam. Every time I do an event with Pat, I'm not gonna obviously be able to shield his entire body. He's 6'5", but people approach him and sometimes they're a little crazy. And I think about it all the time, and my eyes are always watching people at events with Pat, and I'm just like looking for someone that's crazy, because I'll do something. Yeah. I'll say something.
But that's not your job.
I'll
but Kelley,
throw myself if I have to. But I'm not
Yeah.
the first line of defense. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, these women were the second line in my eyes looking at the footage.
Kelley, but Kelley, and I'm going to tell you, babe, why you're wrong is... Kelley,
women were always right.
line.
Wait a second.
No, there's no second line. They are all Secret Service.
You're right.
Your only mission is to get him. Yes, there's different protocols for, like, okay, you're the lead guy. You go in the car, you're doing this. But from what I saw from the stage to there, that one girl had zero business being in the front. The girl that doesn't know how to holster her gun has zero business being that close to the president. And one more thing, guys. All the camera crews, Rob, you guys notice there's some POV shots of like a GoPro on a camera guy. And as the president shot and coming off and doing this camera, there's like 5 camera people. Get them the hell out of there. What are you even doing there? Get your ass. I don't care about photo ops. That piece of shit could be a deep state member. Dude, there needs to be a complete re-evaluation of every single security protocol for the president, or else he's done, guys.
Hold on. So we have 9 minutes to go and 117 slides. So we need to get to Kelley's presentation because there is some valuable information. So let's go to, first of all, this is a video of an experienced sniper talking about, I'm not sure who he is a sniper with. Kelley, you can explain this video.
He'll tell you. Go ahead and roll it.
Yo, good morning. I keep getting asked about this, so I'm just going to let you know my opinion. I am talking about the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. And I know everyone's going to have some crazy opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. It's going to be very wild for the next little while. But just if you don't know me or are new to this page, I spent just about 17 years in the military, just about 14 of which were at Tier 1 Special Operations Unit called JTF-2. Our sniper team has the world record for the longest confirmed sniper kill. And a huge part of our job while I was there and while I was a sniper was doing close protection for VIPs up to and including the Prime Minister when he would go to dangerous countries like Iraq or Afghanistan. We would be in charge of that security. So I'm very familiar with the layout of these types of things and what the jobs should be. And yesterday, what happened, I have no doubts in my mind that the shooter had help from somewhere within an agency, an organization, or the government. The second I saw that aerial photo of what they were saying happened, it immediately made no sense to me. You cannot, in broad daylight, get onto a rooftop within, it looked like maybe a couple hundred yards, if that. You can't get into that position with a gun when there's a president speaking. It cannot be done. It's not like you don't even need to be a sniper to know that it's the most fucking obvious thing, an obvious place in the whole world. You could be a 7th grader. Like, what do we need to do for security here? Well, let's look at these rooftops that are almost within zeroing range of a rifle. So it's something happened, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. It's too obvious that this guy had help getting there. So whether it's someone turned a blind eye or it was strategically planned, I mean, it had to be planned to a certain level because...
Very interesting. A couple of updates.
Rob, keep going, Rob.
Couple of updates from the New York Post. This just came out a few hours ago. According to Donald Trump, he confirms that a chunk of his ear is gone following the shooting. He sustained a bruise to his arm by being pushed down to the ground by the Secret Service. He says that he wanted to continue speaking, but obviously had to leave. According to the Post, a small chunk of Trump's ear is gone, which has now been protected by a white bandage, which was what he was wearing during their interview. Trump showed the Post a large bruise on his forearm. Then he praised the snipers who took out the shooter, saying they took him out with one shot right between the eyes. They did a fantastic job. Trump then goes on to say that he will be attending the funeral of Corey Compertor, who lost his life at the rally. Trump also praised the attendees at the rally for staying calm, stating, "I love them. They are such great people." This is unfortunately the victim of the shooting. One of the 2 fatalities, of course, the other fatality being the dickhead that shot at the president. But this is the one fatality, 2 other injuries. Corey Compertor, I believe, a fire chief with a fire department in Pennsylvania. He died protecting his daughter and his wife. This is what gets me. He pushed his daughter and his wife to the ground and then took a shot to the head and died. And I don't even want to we could go through the videos of the fucking idiot liberals that are getting on and saying dumb things. Why even give them the platform? Fuck you, Destiny, you piece of shit. You don't even deserve for people to talk about you. You're going out there and using this poor man's death for what? Clicks on fucking Twitter? For fucking clicks? That's what this is for you? You're a piece of fucking shit. The country and world would be better if we never had to hear from you again. So hopefully nobody watches your shit anymore. And we don't have to share it anymore. Because it's disgusting takes like that continue to incite violence like this. You're happy that a fucking guy died? He died protecting his wife and protecting his child. The outpour of support. This is part of the good part of Twitter, right? Think about the bad parts of Twitter. All the shit talking, the meme posting, all that bullshit. But we talked about how Twitter can be used to be an information source. It has replaced mainstream media when it comes to reporting. It can also be used for good. They created a GoFundMe for this family, Kid Rock. And I'm not a huge Kid Rock fan. I just never liked his music. He retweets. He doesn't say how much he put in the donation. He retweets the link to his 1 million followers on Twitter. He donated, if you scroll through, you can actually find it. He donated $50,000. The last time I checked, the fund was somewhere between $700,000 and $1 million for this family. That's the beauty of Twitter, that we can share information like this and help a family, because that would never happen. You go back to 1980, Reagan gets shot. What was it, 84 when he got shot? There's no Twitter. There's no GoFundMe. There's no way to help the family of James Brady, the Secret Service agent that got shot. It was brain damage the rest of his life and was paralyzed in a wheelchair. Because of the advent of Twitter, that now is available. That access is available for people like us to help. And so people have helped. The president has asked for the public to calm down their rhetoric. He doesn't want anybody to be angry anymore, which is great. That's fantastic, because as a Democrat, what is your, and Vinnie, we have 3 minutes. So I don't know how we're going to get through the other 216 slides, but with the 3 minutes remaining, I don't know how the Democrats can continue to attack Trump going into this election season with what just happened. the threats to democracy, the dictator in chief, all of those narratives can no longer be used. What are their weapons against Trump? The economy was great underneath him. Fuck. We can't hit him on economy. What are we going to hit? The porn star and the convicted felon? They can't even do the convicted felon. Now the convicted felon may incite violence as well. So the Democrats, they have no strategy moving into this election cycle, and Trump is fucking rolling on all cylinders. He's got a chunk out of his ear like Evander Holyfield getting bit by Mike Tyson, and he's going back and fighting another round. Where do they go from here, Ben?
Kill him.
Rob, I mean, Brandon said it from the beginning, bro. They have to, and we've been saying this, they have to get rid of him. And Rob, just to take a little step back, I feel your passion. You almost got me emotional as well with the firefighter. God rest his soul, and I will pray for his family. But this is all Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden. All of them. But I'm sorry. Let me step one step back. Is the Destiny? We're not going to show the videos. We're not going to give fire. But if Destiny hears this, Destiny, you are a piece of shit. You are nobody. You are a cuck. You are a homosexual man, okay? You're gay, that would sit there and watch his wife get banged by another man. So I don't want to hear anything, any news, any position with your little lip and your horrible debating with your 90-page notes. Destiny is like this when he's trying to debate when nobody else brings notes because you have to do research because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That piece of shit being aside, Biden said in his speech, we have to lower the temperature, okay? Of what? Of the fire that you've been constantly pouring gasoline on for the past 3.5 years. I don't want to hear any of that shit. I don't want to hear anything from any of them talking about lower the temperature. Go to hell, okay? And Rob, there's nothing. They have nothing, Rob. I want everybody to pay attention. It's Monday, July 15th, all right? And I want all you guys to know, I'm calling it first. Now that the assassination attempt, I mean, they're going to still try it, Brandon, if they can. But if they can't, terrorist attack, alien landing, something big is going to happen that's going to keep us from voting in November. Watch. Mark my words. Take it to the bank. They can't let him win. This was their one shot. No pun intended. Second shot is going to be something staged to keep us from the voting polls. Remember that.
And if you're an angry patriot like Vinnie, you can get the Angry Patriot t-shirt. Take a look at that. Look how good he looks in it. And look how good Brandon and Kelley both look in it as well.
Let me see Brandon and Kelley.
Oh, look at him. You can see him. Oh, yeah, Connor wearing flannel. But he'll get one as well. But look, if you want the Angry Patriot shirt, the link is in the description. Go and purchase it today.
Put it in there right now.
And then I want to go around. So, Vinnie, you think there's no other way for them to pivot other than to try and finish the president? Let's end on this. I want to go around and get everybody's final take. What is the strategy for the Democrats moving forward? Humberto, go.
Wait, I need to call everyone out on the Destiny thing and everyone else because it's everyone's fault. Like I said it, I don't go this hard when I'm on camera, but platforming that piece of shit human being, I was always against it. Ben Shapiro did it.
Me too. So angry.
Ben Shapiro did it. Jordan Peterson did it. They all gave him screen time. And once you're a piece of shit, and I don't trust any of those communists, anytime I want to give them screen time because we're weak. We're weak on this side of the aisle. We need a guy from the left to tell us we're right. And all the people that are disappointed right now with Destiny because they thought he was a friend, well, welcome back. Welcome back. You can't trust those people. We don't need the left to fucking confirm our bias. We're right. That's why they call it the right, because you're right. You have the right heart. You have the right thinking, and it's on everyone's to give him a platform. I'm sorry.
Brandon?
Destiny or just the...
No. No, fuck that guy. Go ahead. Yeah, by the way, Vinnie, he said that he fillets men 30% of the time, but doesn't make them gay. I say you suck one dick.
Brandon, Rob, let me explain something to you. People that say that they're bisexual, let me explain something to you. You're gay, but you have occasional straight flashbacks. That's it. Moving on.
Brandon, on to your predictions for what happens between now and November 5th.
Yeah, so I think that I think that the Democrats are going to try and kill him again. I mean, I don't think the Democrats themselves with the deep state, which is like a lot of people in Democrats, I think the only choice they have is to get rid of him. So like I said before, I don't feel one iota of confidence of him being safe at the RNC or at any rally that he does going forward. Don't trust that the entire Secret Services has his back. Don't trust that the local police forces will have his back.
So you want them to lock him up? Lock him.
I want him to
for his own
lock himself up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All
go
right.
in a fucking underground bunker until January or whatever inauguration day is. No, inauguration day. I'm not even
All
talking.
the way to inauguration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have him in office, and then, God forbid, anything does happen, at least that we have somebody. That I think that's why the vice presidential pick is so important now. Before last week, we got on here, and I joked. I was like, they could fucking have Allah Akbar Muhammad Atta on there, and it wouldn't matter because I honestly didn't think that they would try and kill him. So at that point, I was like, you saw what Biden did. It doesn't matter who Trump picks. He's going to get elected. Now I understand the importance of that pick because if, God forbid, something will happen, and now they have 4 years and 6 months to try something with him if he gets elected. That VP pick is so important because that could be the next.
Is supposed to happen tonight, I think, at the RNC. No,
I'm not sure. All right, Kelley.
I believe it might have happened while we were on the show. I'm not sure, but supposedly he's announcing his VP pick tonight. I could be wrong. But my thoughts. It was only because Trump tilted his head that he's alive, not the Secret Service, not anything else that happened. It's because he tilted his head that he's alive. So I am very scared for future events that he will show up to, because that's who he is, that he's going to get killed by another attempt, because the Secret Service did nothing to save the day yesterday. They killed the shooter after the fact. Great. Good job, Jonathan. But, and I get that you might have had orders not to do it, whatever, but he is dead if it weren't for a head tilt. So shame on the entire setup of that event. I'm worried about future events. I do think he'll be president, but I think it's so important that we stop violence, and I know I'm the only girl here, so I'm the one that's scared. I'm the one that's like, I can't comprehend the way people think and consider violence as an option, that people could have wanted this to have succeeded. So I'm going to be praying a lot for my faith in humanity.
Connor, your prediction and a solution.
Yeah, Saturday, I think, was the absolute worst case scenario for the Democrats, because they were going to go along just fine with what they were doing had nothing happened to Trump. And if Trump had been killed, then they would have had their biggest rival taken away. The worst possible thing that could have happened for them was somebody taking a shot at Trump and missing. Because now you've seen the outpouring of support that has come behind him. Fundraising is up. People are basically saying that the moment with the raised fist was the moment the election was clinched for Trump. And if Biden somehow happens to win, it's because they pulled out the biggest cheating operation anybody's ever seen. So as for what they do next, I think they're still scrambling. I think they don't have a plan for this. If this was some kind of inside operation, they were expecting it to work. And if it wasn't, it completely blindsided them. Biden's campaign just canceled a bunch of ads for the next 2 weeks, I think, including ads that were reportedly said to compare Trump to Hitler and use the Nazi comparison again. Because I think they're now realizing, we have to back away from the violent rhetoric. Well, Biden, just like a couple days ago, was saying, it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. Yeah, somebody did. And it's your fault, Biden. It just as much fault as Bernie Sanders had in the congressional baseball shooting. So I don't think they actually know what they're doing here yet. Brandon, to your point, I think maybe they'll try again. I don't think that'll be a sniper on a roof. I think they'll try some more underhanded stuff to not have it be quite as much of a public spectacle.
Think about the options they have.
So,
yeah, I think they're out of options.
No, they have a ton of options.
Well, out of options for conventional assassinations. They can't rely on
they have. Though.
Can't rely on a lone wolf with a gun anymore. You gotta.
Guys, guess what? You guys remember that hearing, Brandon? Was it the 60s or the 70s where they had heart attack guns?
Yeah.
Back then. Guess what? The level of technology and shit that they have today, bro. I'm just saying, man. If they want a civil war, this is exactly the way to do it, bro. Remember the movie came out this year, Civil War. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they want. But we have to be smart enough not to let these idiots do it. And then what's the next one? The other movie, the Obama movie?
Leave the world
behind. Cyber attack by China, whoever, mass confusion, election, everything finished. Just, guys, if you have a seatbelt, buckle up. Shit's about to get crazy.
Connor, and then Humberto for final words.
The other point on this is that I hope that this is a wake-up call for the Trump campaign, for Trump personally. Yes, he's been engaged in battle for years. He's been doing this ever since he came down the escalator to declare his candidacy. But it's almost like the people in Trump's orbit, and sometimes even Trump himself, have not quite had the warfare mentality to recognize the game they are currently in. because Trump has said, when I'm president, I'm going to come up with policies that will make everybody like me. I'm going to keep everybody very happy. I think both sides will be very pleased. The both sidesism needs to stop. You are in a game where these people will kill you. These people will shoot your supporters as collateral damage and then laugh about it on the internet. We are not in the it's time to hold hands and unite and sing Kumbaya mode anymore.
I disagree so strongly. That's exactly the opposite of what should be happening. You can't generalize the left the way that they generalize the right. We can't be doing that. We have to come together and say violence is not acceptable. We can disagree. We can disagree and still be a country. That's why we have a democracy. People can disagree, have different beliefs, have different views. Republic.
Because the masses are retarded.
This would be a great conversation. Hold on. This would be a great conversation for you guys to dive into on a Drink Tap episode in the future or another episode of Unusual Suspects. However, we have to wrap, and I want to give Humberto final words before we wrap up. So go ahead, Humberto.
Look, it's clear God is endorsing Trump. Elon Musk is endorsing Trump. We will win. We will win at the end. I have no doubt about it. Trump is going to make it all the way to the White House. He's going to have the greatest presidency. Just watch. We're going to clean up this mess. We're going to get this republic back on track. There's not going to be bloodshed, and everything is going to be fine. Kelley, just keep him on your prayers. Vinny, I know you are. It's going to be fine, people.
And I would like to just encourage you, if you're out there and you do feel outraged by what happened on Saturday, register to vote. Sign up to help with the RNC. Do whatever you can to try and help maintain the integrity of this upcoming election. Because we're at the point where a month ago, they were saying this election will be too big to rig. Imagine now. There's nobody that's going to believe Joe Biden's going to win. Joe Biden's options are to just roll over and lose this election, and the Democrats hopefully don't burn another candidate by running them against Trump. That's their best bet. Saturday ended Joe Biden's chances of presidency. It confirmed Donald Trump will be your president come November 5th and then in office January 20th of 2025. So good luck to you, Dems. You fucked yourselves in 2016 with Bernie. You fucked yourselves in 2020 with Biden. You fucked Bernie out of the nomination. You fucked Bernie again in 2020. Now you're stuck with a dementia patient that can't win the election, and honestly, you got a superhero running against you. Donald Trump is invincible to many Americans right now. So good luck. To all of you that are watching today and have not watched before, part of spreading and helping get this word out, if you're angry and you want other people to start becoming aware of the information that you're currently aware of, like and subscribe. Click below right there. Oh, boom. It's a little bit further away than normal. Let's zoom in on the tits and I'll show you right there. Oh, yeah, do it again, Jeremy. Now I'm pointing to my boobs. Okay. All right. There it is right there. That. So again, if you would like to help us spread the word, don't get angry. Don't burn down a Walgreens. Just continue this conversation. Continue to support Trump. Donate to the PACs. Sign up for the RNC. Do whatever you can, but maintain civility. I think that's what's most important in these trying times. Thank you to everybody who has watched and joined. Thank you to everybody who has commented in the chat. I see the haters. Thanks anyway. I'll drink your haterade. Look at me. I don't give a fuck. And thank you most importantly to our fearless leader, the angry patriot himself from a remote, undisclosed location in the most liberal states in the United States. He's on the battlegrounds in the front lines for you. Vincent Oshana, thank you for joining us, buddy.
We love you.
I love you guys. I love you guys too. I'll be seeing you guys soon.
We'll be live Wednesday at 6 p.m., so make sure you tune back in. Again, like, subscribe, take care. Thank you to Jacob, Jeremy, Kelley, Humberto, Brandon, Connor, and yourselves for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday.